Welcome back to Inspire Great Health, your local trusted healthcare podcast. Today I have some special guests with us, and we're going to be talking about injury prevention and trauma information and prevention as well. So go ahead, Jennifer, we'll start with you. Go ahead and reintroduce yourself since you've been on here before.
Yeah, I'm Jennifer Dykshorn. I am the trauma program manager here at CRMC.
Kenny?
My name is Kenny Dunn. I'm the emergency management manager for Cheyenne Regional. Also work with Jen doing injury prevention for the trauma program.
So tell me a little bit about what the trauma program does as a whole.
Yeah, so we're a verified trauma center through the American College of Surgeons, and so what our job is to make sure that we meet all the standards to be a trauma program. Part of that is doing injury prevention and community outreach. They really want us to focus on injury prevention for our top mechanisms of trauma, which are falls is our number one, motor vehicle crashes is number two mechanism, and 3 is motorcycle crashes.
And we're running this trauma prevention campaign right now. Tell me, why is this so important?
Big thing is to prevent injuries. Some of the biggest mechanisms cause some of the biggest injuries and high mortality rates, and if we can decrease those numbers as much as we can, we feel like that's a good thing for our community.
Yeah. And trauma is predictable. We know that people are going to be out and about. We know that people are going to be in their cars. We know that they're going to get on motorcycles. We know that they're going to get on the e-scooters and the e-bikes. So it's important that we provide them with information on safety techniques or injury prevention techniques, like wearing your seatbelt, wearing your helmet, reducing your speed. So we have all those statistics. We know what will save lives. So I think just being aware and getting that information out to the public will be key.
Have you noticed an increase or decrease in trauma injuries?
Go ahead,
It's been pretty stable. So we see roughly around 1,000 trauma patients a year. Falls is always our top mechanism, and motor vehicle crashes is always our number 2 mechanism. We see about 100 to 150 big motor vehicle crashes per year. The thing that we're seeing an increase in is injuries from like e-scooters, e-bikes, ATVs. We're seeing a pretty significant increase in injuries and an increase in the significance of the injuries that we see. So just more high stakes injuries. People are more severely injured.
Now, falls, is that falling off a ladder or elderly people falling, or kind of everywhere in between?
Everywhere in between. There's a lot of different variables for falls, whether it be medications, loose rugs in the homes. Alcohol also can be related to falls. So it's everywhere in between. So those are our big ones. A lot of them are just mechanical falls. We are working with Cheyenne Fire right now to implement a program where they will go into homes and do an evaluation of the home. So we are looking at patients who are having falls in the hospital. If it is related to that, we would refer them to Cheyenne Fire. They will actually go into the home and do an assessment if people need rails, their rugs are loose, that they would put tape down to get those down to try to prevent those falls. So it's a program that we're just starting to implement, and I think is going to be really big for injury prevention for falls.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. I didn't know that Cheyenne Fire did that. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's part of their new community paramedicine program. So they'll go in and do home safety surveys and just really help make sure that our community is safe.
So you kind of touched on this a little bit, but how many of these traumas can be attributed to motor vehicle crashes?
Yeah, so we see around 100 to 150 motor vehicle crashes per year that come into the emergency department.
And about how many of those are related to distracted or drunk driving?
It's hard to really get a percentage on distracted driving, but drunk driving, it's about 10%. There's alcohol involvement. And it's a little bit higher for motorcycle crashes. It's between 12 and 15%. There's alcohol that plays a factor, and even higher for scooters.
And those scooters include our scooters that we have downtown, which
Yes.
are very nice for people to get around, but can be a little dangerous at times.
Yep. People like to have fun, and it usually involves alcohol. So.
Yes.
And then they get on the scooters.
I think the big thing with the scooters is many times in many cities you can't ride the scooters on the sidewalks, which forces those individuals out into the street. Now you're dealing with traffic. I think that becomes a big problem for scooter riders where they end up with, some pretty serious injuries.
And a lot of them, if it's just like the rent a scooter, there's not helmets available. And so if you do have your own scooter, I would strongly suggest that you wear your helmet to really prevent those head injuries.
Are there certain times of the year you notice an increase in these traumas?
Yes, wintertime for motor vehicle accidents. Summertime is a big one for the motorcycle accidents. Sturgis is a really big time of year for us to see these injuries. We have motorcycles that are coming through with I-80 and I-25. So we really see an increase in motorcycle accidents in that time of year as well.
And then in the winter time with motor vehicle crashes, the weather's not great, it's icy, it's windy, and so we do see an abundant amount of motor vehicle crashes during the winter months.
Are there any safety tips that you can provide for people, whether it's winter or summer, to just do their best to be safe when they're out and about, even on ATVs, four-wheelers, or their cars?
Yeah. For the cars, buckle up. That's the number one thing. We know that seatbelts save lives. There's a lot of times that we see these patients come in and they would be less injured or alive if they had their seatbelt on. So that's always the number one that we're going to say is you got to wear your seatbelt. For motorcycles, ATVs, wear your helmets. That's gonna, protect your brain. You only get one brain. There's not much we can do to fix it all the time. So please make sure that you wear your helmet. What other
I think
tips do you have?
leather and equipment, clothing equipment for motorcycles is a big thing that you can do. They make lots of leather and jackets that are specified for riding motorcycles that can handle that impact when you hit the asphalt. So when you're going high speeds and you hit pavement, you skip a long ways. So protecting that skin, of course, having a helmet on is a good idea.
And then speed. Speed is always going to play a factor with the significance of injury. So anytime that you're above 50 miles an hour, you're just going to be at increased risk.
So every 10 miles over 50, if you're going 10 miles an hour, your risk of mortality increases by, it doubles. Every 10 miles after that, it doubles again. So if you're going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're now at a four times the risk of mortality. If you're going 30, now it's 8 times. So every 10 miles, it doubles over the speed limit of 50.
Wow, that is
so speed is a
increase.
huge factor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think just buckle up, wear your helmet, reduce your speed.
ATV wise, oftentimes they're ridden on dirt roads up in the mountains. One of the biggest things is the ruts. So people are riding these ATVs when the road is wet. It's creating ruts, and then you get riders that are riding at high speeds, and that front tire hits a rut, and that's what causes them to roll a lot of times. And if an ATV rolls on top of you, it's pretty heavy. So between your head and crush injuries from an ATV, it's pretty serious injuries.
Oh, well, thank you both for coming in and just explaining to me a little bit more about safety. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, so we had the opportunity to meet with Governor Gordon. He signed a proclamation declaring May as Trauma Awareness Month. It's kind of the start of the trauma season with the increase of injuries, with people being out and about with the summertime. So I think just know that there's always going to be a risk. So just make sure that you buckle up, wear your helmets, reduce your speed. So hopefully we don't see you in our emergency room.
Yeah, and I think keep an eye out for our injury prevention campaign. We've got a lot of good
witty billboards.
That are coming out, and just good reminders of small things. Staying, if you're tired, don't keep driving. Don't be distracted, those type of things. So keep an eye out on our social media and our web pages for those. And I think they're actually going on billboards here in Cheyenne as well. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the community will see them and we can knock down these injuries.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope that's the case as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for joining me, and I hope you both have a great rest of your day.
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. And yes, be safe out there on that road and have a great summer, and we will see you next time.